There have been times in my life where I have been so afraid to move forward. Have you ever been afraid to take the plunge and do something different? Have you ever been afraid to do something that your heart tells you you should do, like write a book, start a business, get into a relationship? I know I have. Stick around because this is Kitchen Talk with Victoria, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about doing it scared. Kitchen Talk with Victoria was born out of conversations I would have with my grandmother in the kitchen. From time to time, things would get serious and we had to sit down. Stick around for the Kitchen Talk with Victoria, where we're going to talk about doing it anyway and doing it scared.
I want to talk to you today about doing it anyway, doing it scared. So what I'm going to call this topic or this exhortation today is do it anyway. Just do it. And I'm going to speak out of 2 Chronicles 28:20. And this is David encouraging his son Solomon to build the temple because David had been told by God that he's not the one to do it. And Solomon was a little bit, I don't know about this. But this is what David says to his son, Solomon, in 1 Chronicles 28:20. Then David said to Solomon, his son, be strong and courageous and do it. Do not be afraid and do not be dismayed, for the Lord God, even my God, is with you. He will not leave you or forsake you until all the work for the service of the house of the Lord is finished. And I want to talk to you about that. You know, God has given us a message and a power. Many of us have a burning desire that's within us, and we are nervous. We're afraid, whether it's starting a new business, giving a speech, and we have this thing about not feeling good enough. Like, how am I going to do this? Right? And we fear it and we get dismayed. And what we end up doing very often is nothing. And I want to encourage you today to just do it anyway. You say, when you are given a purpose and a commandment for God, that is so that you can bless others. Some of us have been through some things. I was a bankrupt single mom on food stamps. I was hungry. I have been homeless. I have walked around with holes in my shoes and helping people to fix their credit. When I started my first business of credit repair, I had $500 in the bank and I had 3 children. I was by myself. And I knew that at that time was my ministry to help people pull themselves out of financial ruin. Now, keep in mind, I'm helping people fix their credit because I had a bankruptcy. My credit went from an 826 all the way down to a 503 with a stroke of a pen. I felt despondent. I felt worthless because I had my worth to that 3-digit number and not to God. And so I learned how to fix my credit, and I got my credit back up to over 700s. And then I started sharing my story with people, my testimony. And I started this business with only $500 to my name and 3 children. And I was scared. I was like, who am I to talk about finances when I don't have a big bank account? I mean, I'm eating eggs and bacon for dinner, feeding my kids so I can start this business. Who am I? But then I thought about 1 Chronicles 28:20 that said, do it. Do it. See, it's not for us to worry about what we have or how it's going to work. Our job is to be obedient and let God work out the rest. I wasn't even paying my rent, but you know what? I was in a rental property. And the person I lived with, but my landlord, he said, Victoria, I believe in you. He said, don't worry about it. I know you got these small children. I know you're trying to start something. And I know you have the servant's heart to help others. Don't worry about it. You see, when you're stepping out into your purpose and when you're doing what God has commanded you to do, won't he bring the people in your life to make it done? Won't he give you the situations to do it anyway. There's something that I live by. And one thing that I want to do when I leave this earth is I want to leave this earth empty. I want to leave it empty. I want to touch as many people as I can. I want to help as many people as I can, so that when I'm done, God will look at me and said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," because I did it anyway. And I want to encourage you, it doesn't matter what your current situation is. It doesn't matter if you're not exactly doing what you're teaching, because you are still further along than somebody. There's somebody that's not as far along as you are that you can help bring up. And then by doing so, that's helping you. That's helping you to be better and to hone your skills. Do it anyway. Do it scared. Because God is with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. He will come alongside you. He will bring the people into your life that you need. But you have to be open. You have to be open to receive it. And you got to do it scared. You know, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 29:18 that the people will perish from lack of vision. You have a vision. You have something that the world needs. You have that ache in your heart, and you're scared. And I want to tell you that God would not have given you that vision if He couldn't help you go through it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. See, we tend to depend on our own might, and we look for validation from other people. But I want to tell you, you are courageous. You are strong. You are enough. You are worthy. Because only you can deliver your testimony to the people who need to hear it like you can. No one else. I can say the same thing to the same people, and they won't get it. Have you ever told someone something and they said to you, "Oh, that's what my mother said," but they really didn't do what their mother told them to do, but they did it when you told them because you put it in a way that God had given you so that they could understand it? And I just want to encourage you, do it anyway. You will never have it together 100%. You will never have it all together. To me, it's like having kids. There are no good time to have kids, because when you have them, they're going to disrupt your life in one way or the other. There is no good time like right now. Do it anyway. Be courageous. Let your voice be heard. Let your testimony stand for others. Do it anyway. Do it scared. God is with you. He'll bring the people you need. It's not by your strength, but by His. Thank you. I love you all. Blessings.
Before you leave, remember to like, subscribe, and follow. And join us for the next episode of Kitchen Talk with Victoria.